And the categories of this fight draft, there's 5 categories. Movie, which is...
We're doing a fight draft.
Yeah, fight draft. I'll hide the chat. A movie, which is the full movie. Like, it's a movie based around boxing, MMA, fighting, street, whatever it is, full movie. Sports brawl is a category. And then boxing match. So, a real boxing match.
I'm interested in that one.
A viral fight. And a fictional fight. Now, that's where you can take... a fight scene from a movie. Doesn't have to be it could be any movie or from a TV show and then there. So those are the categories. I need a piece of paper, a little scrap or something. I'm going to write down a number.
That's a fumble.
The number I'm writing down.
I've written mine.
I'm taking a risk here. I wrote down 14.
Okay.
Wow.
Are we revealing our numbers?
Yes.
I have 23.
Damn it. That
26.
doesn't. Okay.
51.
Burn, baby.
Jake's in a great spot.
Jake's rooting high. Hold on.
1.
Come on.
Wait,
All right.
let me get it on.
BBD's going to put it on
I'll put it on
screen.
the screen for the people.
Here we go. Wow. 26, BBD?
Yes.
And then 23. So BBD, what spot in the draft do you want?
I'd like the number 2 pick.
Wow.
Okay. Dan? Hey, what do you get called by your friends? Canobbio or Dan?
Canobbio, DC.
Because I said Dan and it felt like foreign to me.
There was like 100 Dans in the office.
True.
So they've been calling me Canobbio.
Okay.
That is my name.
All right. Is this helpful, BBD, what I did?
You just settle on a spot, and then now I can adjust it.
Okay, gotcha. Do you want the first pick, the third pick, the fourth pick?
I'll take 4th.
Wants the wraparound. So I get I get next up.
You get the next choice.
I'm going to take the first pick.
Okay.
That's what I wanted.
I will take the third pick.
Jake, great choice on that.
How'd you come up with that?
Yeah.
All right. I will start us off. This draft is brought to you by Draftkings, and Draftkings is a sportsbook app. It's the best in the world.
DraftKings doesn't come in a jar.
Comes from who you are.
DraftKings, they're the official sports betting partner of MLB. How about that?
I'll place a $1 bet.
Pretty
right
huge.
now.
Jom's going to find a winner right now. You should have bet on, there's a old guy twirling it for Los Angeles today that's putting up a crazy game right now.
Play town.
New customers, you can bet $5 on any team to win, and you get $200 in free bets. If they do, they still got their daily fantasy. You can play for free and win thousands. That's a pretty good deal. DraftKings is safe, secure, reliable. Best of all, deposit and withdraw your cash whenever you want. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use promo code Jomboy. Bet just $5, win $200 in free bets if your team wins their game. That's promo code Jomboy at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of Major League Baseball. 21 plus restrictions apply. MLB trademarks used with permission. See show notes for details.
My first pick overall is going to be a boxing fight. The category I feel least equipped
It's the category that I'm most interested in
to draft out of. And I think this might be a chalk pick, but I recently watched a lot of highlights of it, so I feel comfortable taking it. Rumble in the Jungle. I watched Ken Burns' Ali documentary, and the build-up to the fight and the politics and like where it took place is wild. And then, first time Ali brought out the rope dope.
Yep.
Coming out from like his long, I mean, it was, after his long hiatus and all that. 32 now, fighting 25-year-old. And the rope dope's awesome. And I like that he didn't even tell his manager.
And now fighters do it all the time.
And now it's like a style. So I think it's somewhat of a safe pick, but it's the category I could probably name 3 more fights. So I'm taking Rumble in the Jungle.
It's a fight worthy of a number 1 pick.
Thank you.
It's a fight that goes down in the history books. I mean, it's one of the best to ever happen. And it's Muhammad Ali. It's George Foreman. I mean, come on.
Couple big ones.
Big names. Big fight.
Big guys.
Not as big as the heavyweights are today, but yes.
So you're taking points off Jimmy's because they're not as big as the heavyweight fighters. Today.
That's just
I
how
respect
humans
it.
are just bigger. Like Tyson Fury, who's fighting next week, is 6'9". Like Muhammad Ali was 6'1", 6'2", barely 200 pounds.
Quick.
What is it? Like a butterfly, sting like a bee.
Is that
Rumble,
yours?
Rumble, young man, rumble.
Signature line.
The first guy to ever rap was Muhammad Ali.
He was so good on the mic.
Oof.
There's a lot of scenes in that Ken Burns documentary that I hadn't seen. I have a $1 bet that Muncie will walk in this plate appearance.
Okay.
Started off 0-2, so
Battle.
he's got to battle back. He's got to battle back.
Battling.
He can do it.
Gotta battle back.
Solid pick.
Appreciate it.
Top
BBD.
10 pick of the draft for me.
BBD, you're up.
It's a good fight, Jim.
Thanks.
I'm gonna go take my viral video when we decided on this draft. There are really only 2 I wanted, so I was always gonna take it in the first round.
Can I put some context here? I have 1 on my board, and if it gets taken from me, I'll be upset.
Scramble mode.
Yeah, I have 2, and I will be in scramble mode if I don't take one now. So, and this was as viral of a viral video as you get.
Worked it back to 3-2.
Will Smith, Chris Rock.
Oh, wow. Recency.
Oh, okay.
Now, is
I
that
like
a
it.
fight? I'm just joking. It's an acceptable answer.
Will
As
Smith was
viral
fighting.
as anything gets. And then, like, in real time,
Who's
we all
there?
spent the last 2 weeks being like, yeah, we're going to be referencing this for a long time.
It is. It's crazy.
Yeah.
This is one of the ones.
I think you walked. I think I just won.
Let's go.
There we go.
From 0-2 to a walk.
Talking about.
How much did I win? Wait. I just won. I bet $1. I won $5.75.
Let's go.
I should have bet $100.
Yes.
Get your coffee tomorrow.
God.
Let's go.
Feels so good to be a winner.
I stopped at from where I walk from the subway. There's like a kind of a boutique coffee shop.
Over here on the corner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll go there sometimes. Got my coffee today. It was $8, and I was like, "Come on."
Inflation's hitting the
Come
coffee
on.
market. Too.
Tom got his coffee
Stop
from there
slapping.
once. We were walking in, and he's like, I get it here. I was like, oh.
I
didn't
turn
know that
down
place
their
existed.
punch card every time.
What do you get that's $8?
Iced coffee, espresso shot.
That's a lot of money, I feel like.
I'm a little hesitant too to pull out the
Never-
loyalty card,
Never a line in there.
and they get their straws are too big.
Yeah, but they
Yeah.
probably need like 2 customers to make the same as Duncan gets from 15. It's like that old apartment complex landlord situation.
Different expenses. Yeah. Okay. Who's up? The 3rd pick of the draft?
Third pick of the draft is you, Jake.
Oh, I've got Dan on the wraparound.
Try your hardest to do your best. And
Interesting defense I have to play there because he has a lot of knowledge in this.
Yeah, he's gonna grab. Oh,
I'm Sam with the Red Bulls. Sam with the Red Bulls. Thanks, Sam.
BBD.
I'm saying yes.
It looked like a no because it wasn't a yes. But
I didn't use words.
Thanks, Sam.
I can
Nice
see how that
toss.
expression is.
Nice
a no 'cause
toss,
it's
nice
round.
catch. Nice toss, nice catch. I'm also gonna get my boxing match out of the way.
Yeah.
Because there's about 3 options.
Mm-hmm.
One of them was the War on the Shore, like you mentioned. Not interested. I know it's not called the War on the Shore, but
That was wow.
it's a nice sentence.
It is. I think we're gonna have to take that.
It's fun to say.
Yeah.
That was Pearl Harbor.
I'm going iconic. I'm an iconic guy. The year was 1997. I'm 8 years old. And one of the most famous boxers at the time
I know where you're going with this.
bit another man's ear.
Shit.
He did.
Tyson versus Holyfield. I mean, one of the most famous boxing matches of all time. 2 great boxers. Tyson with his kind of what was an impeccable resume, and then, I don't know, just like this, one of the scariest men to ever be in a boxing ring.
100%. Maybe not the most talented heavyweight, but by far the most menacing.
And he bit a guy's ear.
Now he's selling weed.
Shaved
Shaped like
his
his
ears.
ears.
Yeah.
You know why he bit him, right? is because he was losing.
He's losing, yeah.
He's
looking for something.
He's the ultimate, like, you push back, like Buster Douglas did when his first loss. Like, he's the ultimate bully. And he'll say it himself now that he was a bully. He used mental tactics to defeat his opponents before the fight would even start. And he finally faced someone that was willing to punch back, and that was Evander Holyfield. And he'll say that it was because of headbutts, because Holyfield was a notorious headbutter, giant head. But he just was losing. And Tyson said, I ain't going out just, with a decision loss. I'm taking a piece of you with me.
I mean, he bit his ear.
Yeah. That was a wild. That's just going to live on in infamy, too.
He bit his ear.
It was still in the ring, too, the ear. The guy was sweeping off. If you look at Evander Holyfield today, there was a chunk of his ear missing.
I would hate that.
So I'm up.
You get 2 picks in a row.
Double.
Like that.
And you're only fighting BBD for boxing match, and BBD did like a wince.
You might have him outgunned there.
So my strategy would be to save your boxing match.
Because I have pretty set there. I'm going to go with fictional fight.
Okay.
Interested in this one. I also love my pick here, so I hope you don't stick it.
We're going season 5, episode 1. We're going to Bayside High School.
Wow.
Zach Morris versus AC Slater in the fight heard around the world, especially in the hallways of Bayside High. They were fighting over a woman. I've never been in a fight, but if I was to get into a fight, it would probably be over a woman. Not only just any woman, a transfer student from Idaho, Joanna. And this is one of the better fight scenes. They went at it. You can take a look here. Slater upset with the fact that Zach crashed his date. Zach's brushing it off, and they're about to rumble.
This is a good fight. I love Saved by the Bell. I used to watch it when I ate cereal before middle school.
Always on.
Yeah.
Always on.
Yeah, great syndication rights out of the show. So
I guess the body language has changed tremendously between the two. They're face to face now.
Up, one shove.
Look at this right. Boom. Overhand right hip toss.
Slater wrestles him because he's the wrestler, obviously.
But there was ground and pound there, too.
Yeah.
You know what's like really fun for me to think about now? How much fun those 2 actors, Mario Lopez and
Mark Paul Gosselaar.
Mario and Mark?
Mm-hmm.
That's a fun combination of names. How much fun they had planning that.
The fight scene, yeah.
Yeah, like the stunting of
choreographed.
It all. They did a pretty decent job.
I can't tell if there's a stand-in. At some point, it did not look like Slater.
See, I think they're not. Oh, maybe he did have a stand-in. Softy.
Like, I'm sure, like, Mario Lopez can do that hip toss. I'm sure he wanted to, but for, like, insurance purposes, they're like, let's put the other, like, Jack mullet guy in there. Are they, though?
Yeah.
They're, like, 30 doing that show.
Yeah.
And Mario Lopez is a huge boxing guy now. I see him at the fights all the time.
What a career for him, huh?
Dude, talk about it. Like,
I'm just going to write
He's a worker.
I'm going to write Morris for Slater.
He's everywhere.
He's a worker. He does stuff.
You go into any hotel in the world, he'll pop up telling you which movie you want to watch.
Who?
Yeah. Mario Lopez.
Oh.
He's probably has the better career of anyone from Saved by the Bell.
I know. Tiffany Amber Thiessen really could have taken off. What happened?
So I'm picking again, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to go with sports fight. And I'm going to, April 2nd, 2000, Staples Center, one of the most underrated NBA fights of all time. It's Chris Childs.
Wow.
2-piecing Kobe Bryant.
Wow.
Because you don't ever see punches land in NBA fights. It's usually they're about to, or they just get separated, or a lot of posturing. But for him to throw a lead right and land, it's one of the cleaner punches too, and land a left too, a grazing blow. But not only just on anybody, but you're Chris Childs. You're a sixth man at best, and you're going up against Kobe in his hometown, in his home arena, and you land a very clean right hand and follow it up with a grazing left.
I've never seen this one, to be honest.
It's one of the better. I broke down a bunch of NBA fights a few years ago with my guy Rob Perez, Worldwide Wob, and we broke down a lot of fights. He actually came up with a formula to grade these fights, and this was one that just stuck out with me over the years because there was very rarely. We must have went over about 15, 20 fights, and I use fight, very loosely. and Charles is like one of the only ones to land.
It's funny. The hockey, when I do like NHL fights and you slow them down, like even those, a lot of times it's like just a graze.
Weird
like, and like the hand gets soft. It's not.
I can't believe they allow them to do that still. Bare knuckle.
It's pretty archaic.
Like in the year 2022 where everything, it's just like.
It's pretty weird.
It's very weird. It blows my mind as someone who watches fights all the time. Like there is bare knuckle boxing out there now, but it's just I can't. It's too much. All right, that was my picks.
Great job.
Thank you.
Pick. That was a good pick.
Thank you.
Sorry, we're still working on the echo with the mics in here. I think I'm going to go to another area I'm not as well versed as I'd like to be. I'm going to go to the movie realm. I'm a sports guy.
You don't like boxing movies?
Does it have to be a boxing movie?
Well, that's
I had movie fight.
Fighting.
We'll go. Yeah, I think we agreed to fight movie.
No, the whole entire movie is a fight movie.
Yes.
It's a movie.
Yeah,
about
yeah.
fight.
Doesn't have to be boxing.
Yes. I assume this will be approved because the movie is around fighting. It's a man fighting his way back. The movie's Gladiator.
Wow.
Oh.
Yeah.
I wasn't thinking that at all.
But
I mean, that's
The
fighting.
Gladiator-
That's the origin of fighting.
fight.
Yeah, I mean, it's like The Ring, and he's got a bunch of different fights. So, yes.
That's where it started.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it's the roots of fighting.
It's like an origin story of boxing.
And when they bring out, I mean, it's kind of when the Gladiator himself kind of has now fully flipped the script. They bring out the undefeated fire, the legend with the lion's mask. And by the way, he has to fight off lions in the Coliseum while he's fighting. Not only does Maximus then win the match, he is told to kill him. He shows mercy.
Kill him.
And that's when he fully wins over the crowd.
Yes.
And he becomes like more powerful than the Emperor of Rome.
Mm-hmm.
Got chills.
Also led to his death. Which is ultimately
Caesar!
he wanted to die.
What a movie. What a film.
Yeah.
What a fight film.
Have to watch it.
Yeah. One of the more
It's a
accurate
flip on
depictions
TV.
of fights too.
Origins of fighting.
Russell Crowe.
People are always praising it, saying not only is that movie good, it's so dang accurate.
So dying. You're always talking to Ashland about it.
A lot of people are gonna miss the sarcasm on that. It's like one of the most historically inaccurate movies ever.
You know who's a huge boxing fan who works here? Jerry Blevins.
Is he?
Huge.
I've seen him engaging.
He's like, we learned this during the Blitzball battle we went out to dinner after, and he's like, so what do you do? And I told him, and he was shocked, and he just reeled off like I'm talking like deep down in the weeds fighters of today. So I'm excited to collaborate with Mr. Blevins.
Yes, that is awesome.
Yeah. Shout out to Jerry Blevins.
Big baby David.
I can see
bug dude.
I could see Jerry in the sweetest, cutest way saying like, I like Bloodsport.
He said Coco Crisp used to throw the best fight parties, and that's a great little nugget.
It's a great sentiment.
I immediately texted my brother like Coco Crisp used to throw fight parties.
Best fight parties, Coco Crisp.
Mayweather parties.
Yeah. Beebs, you have a pretty open slate. The only category that's open is boxing match. And are you going to try and grab one before Canobbio?
No, I've really got. I can take any category I want here, really. I'm going to go grab my fictional fight, I think.
Okay.
It's the other one that's like, oh, I wanted this one coming in. And it's the Anchorman fight scene.
Oh, the Battle Royale.
Yeah, the Battle Royale.
Brick killed him, man.
Kill a man with a trident?
That escalated quickly.
That's
really
good.
got out of hand.
Those lines were, I mean,
At the
those
time.
two lines at the time.
Undefeated.
When that was
Undefeated.
fresh.
I mean, that escalated quickly. People still say that.
Yep.
And I don't think those words were uttered as much in like that fashion before the movie. I really don't. And I don't think anyone knows that it's because it's not really a quote. It's just like it's in the description. But like in that tone, that escalated quickly.
More quotable movie, that or Dumb and Dumber.
I mean,
we've discussed Dumb and Dumber.
So we used to do a regular, and we would do one of these drafts. We'd watch a movie, and then the next week we'd do a quotes draft. I haven't watched Anchorman in so long. There's a period of my life where I used to throw it on every day after school. No, nuts at it.
Yeah. I saw it last year. They had it on the drive-in in Greenpoint, Brooklyn. It was awesome.
How did it hold up? It was good?
Oh, it was hilarious. But the whole time we were like almost like saying the lines as they were being said. And I was like, this got to be the most quoted comedy maybe of all time. That, Dumb and Dumber. I'm sure there's some other ones
they
too.
got on the short list.
I have 2 picks here. Let's see. Fictional fights getting crowded. Is Jake going to take the same one that I'm thinking of? I'm going to bank on no there because I do have one in mind on that. Viral fight. Will someone steal that? That is like a wide open thing.
I will say you did mention you only have one you want. You'll be in scramble mode if you don't get it for that one.
Yeah, it can't be my second round pick though.
Okay.
My second round pick is going to be Sports Brawl, and I am going to do Pedro Martinez throwing Don Zimmer to the ground. You have seen a lot of sports brawls in your life, and you can. I don't want to leak picks, but there's some others that came up that were big moments that everyone remembers, and they are the #1 brawl in their sport. You have never seen a 65-plus-year-old man get thrown to the ground by his head.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you'll see that again in the middle of a sanctioned sporting event.
Playoffs.
And, yeah, I mean, I just don't.
The best pitcher in baseball.
The best pitcher in baseball. Like, what's the equivalent of that right now? Is that Max Scherzer throwing, for Yankees fans, like Dono?
There's no equivalent. I mean, that's back in a time when sports and baseball were different. We talk about this a lot. Like, if you were a baseball fan, you knew the Yankees, like, coaches.
Yep.
You knew Don Zimmer. You knew Willie Randolph.
There was no turnover.
You knew Lee Mazzilli. Like, and Pedro, he's his own iconic character. Don Zimmer's his own iconic character. Like,
I remember
Yeah.
just
Kinda
being
not.
so.
It's a sports brawl, but it's also completely its own thing, which was why I like it a lot here. Also, it's Yankees Red Sox. Was it national TV?
Yeah, it was Fox. It was crazy.
Fox. Like, it was.
That was a moment. That was. I mean, from Pedro's, perspective, what was he supposed to do? You have an old man running at you.
Sidestep him. I think I did a breakdown on it. It's like sidestep him.
He kind of did, but then he just guided his head down slowly.
yeah.
If you watch it, I forget what I said when I did the breakdown. He kind of like.
He gave it like a
And
good.
it's not
Not an Olay.
it's not an Olay, it's a double head grab. That's what shocked me when I did it in slow-mo. He grabs the side of his
And he
head
also
like
waved
a
him on
bowling
too.
ball.
Yeah. And then Pettit was like holding him in his arms, like, what happened?
Yeah. Yeah.
I remember being just like, I think 15 or something, or 16, and just hot. Like, that's the most heated you'll ever be. Because Zimmer at that point was like Jake was saying, Grandpa.
Yeah.
100%. It's like you don't go near him. You don't even fathom him getting hurt on a field.
I mean, like, him and Jeet's relationship, like, it was a whole thing.
Yeah.
That was a moment in time.
And then, all right, I'll take my fictional one, which lets Jake do whatever he wants with it.
Wow.
I'm taking Bob Barker versus Happy Gilmore.
I had that on my list.
I mean, the price is wrong, bitch.
Yeah.
And then just getting beat up. Some of my other fictional fights, I thought of like 2 more, and another one was also Adam Sandler getting beat up. So I think I enjoy his fight scenes that he writes where he gets beat up. One of the more quotable lines, like we're talking about, like the price is wrong, bitch, is people probably say that and don't realize what they're doing.
That came from something.
Yeah. And just a hilarious scene. A pro-am and Bob Barker, like the host of The Price is Right.
Sneaks up on you in the movie.
Sneaks
Didn't
up on
have
you.
to be in it.
Like it's like
Not only-
at that time, Like, how'd they get him to do it? And then you're watching, you're like, oh, Bob Barker's in this movie. Like, oh my God, Bob Barker beats up the main character.
He's probably like, I want to do something outside the realm of me just being a very friendly game show host that if you stay home from school, that's what you identify him with. He's like, give me something gritty. I want to get, not only was it just like a fight scene, that was like a pretty long fight scene. I did a breakdown on it. I did punch stats on it. There was like 20 punches thrown. He was going to the body. There was clubs involved.
I mean, getting Bob Barker to sign up for this, like, that's hilarious. Would have loved to see those early conversations,
That lead right, you don't see a lead right like that a lot.
You want a piece of me? I don't want a
Piece, I want the whole thing.
I want the whole.
I gotta watch it
I
again.
can't believe you're a professional golfer. I think you should be working at the snack bar. You better relax, Bob. There's no way that you should have been as bad at hockey as you are at golf. All right, let's go. You like that, old man? You want a piece of me? I don't want a piece of you. I want the whole thing. Oh.
The crowd just constantly like, oh.
The caddies are just like, all right, this is happening.
Now you're gonna get it, Bobby.
I love the sequence here.
It goes on for way longer than you would remember.
It's still going.
The price is wrong, bitch.
That's an iconic gif, too.
Yeah.
I think you've
I forgot those two parts.
And then he's like shadow boxing.
Now you've had enough.
Oh, did I cut it off? Or is
Bitch.
It? Oh, yeah. Okay. So that's my fictional fight. I actually didn't watch it before I chose it.
It's a classic.
It's a good one.
It's a good one.
Quotes are good, and just the actual, like, concept of it. It's a concept fight.
It's a construct fight.
Wow, my board's looking full. Loving it so far. BBD?
Okay.
Again, I feel like I could go to any of my categories here. So I'm just gonna pick the one that I want the most. And Malice at the Palace is still here. So
Yeah, that's the other one. Those were the two that I had in my head.
I went and found a third that I was gonna let go.
Girl Police.
Malice at the Palace is
It's
Not-
like
not
the
bigger
most.
three
It's
times
like the
in a row.
biggest breakdown request I ever get. I started editing at one point, and because I had nothing else to do, and then LeBron got called a steroid ass bitch, so I pivoted and did that. But or he called the guy that. But yeah, I mean now that they've done the documentaries on it and like have every player's like I can't add anything.
Did you watch the doc?
Yeah,
It's good.
Yeah.
it's good. There's parts of it that I'm like, well, dude, like the one guy the player, what's his name, who was like the star of the
Steven Jackson? No, Jermaine O'Neal.
and now he's
Martinez.
like his career kind of like.
Oh
Yeah, he was like
'Cause
an
he was like a
all-star.
young
He was
But,
on a
um,
trajectory of being like a
But like
face
if
of the
he
NBA.
landed what he was trying to land, he's like in jail. So I had a lot of sympathy for a lot of the players, but I'm like, but dude, you like straight up like tried to sucker punch a dude as hard as you can inside the head.
I was interested more in like the build-up and what
Yes.
led to it.
Yeah,
like,
no,
there was
yeah.
like a perfect storm,
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
a
yeah.
Friday night, like there was like I think they had
The cops. It's really interesting, like the security fuck ups and how long it went, and then finding the guy with the beer and how like he was pinned as
That guy
not
was
a bad guy, really.
He came off
And-
like a
and, like,
guy that would
all-
throw a beer at a game.
And like
Oh, he came
the
off all-
fans,
that's
they,
why-
they came out of that. They're like, none of them seem to regret their actions at all, and all the players feel really bad about.
So that's when I watched a documentary where I got a weird feeling. All the narrative and the backstory is great, but I was like, that fan and that player, like they still don't understand that
Steven Jackson's gone on.
uncool.
Steven Jackson is now in a media member. He's got a great podcast, and
Am I talking about him? Or am I talking about?
Jermaine O'Neal was the guy that got the who faced the most of the.
But he threw the sucker punch.
threw the sucker punch,
He
yeah.
it just didn't hit. It got blocked
Right.
or stopped or something like that. Yeah.
Turtle
He
from Entourage
slipped.
was in it.
Is that what it was? He like slipped on the
He
way.
like
to
slipped.
Yeah.
Yes.
It. Yeah.
And it's like, dude, if you didn't slip, like,
You're not available for the stock.
Yeah.
It's a big what if.
Things change.
We're doing it through a glass window.
Things change.
I still can't believe that happened.
That had to get drafted. If that didn't get drafted, all the comment section would have been like, come on, guys.
Need to be drafted.
Yeah.
So I've got 2 I love for Sports Brawl and Fictional. I really should go viral fight. I don't. Viral fights aren't really my thing. If I'm being honest, that's not how I use the internet. Gonna be honest with you, so I may even just wait on that. Where I'm gonna go, I am happy with how I played my cards with the Fictional fight. Kind of thought those would go off the board. And in one of the most underestimated movies all time that I'm now making a absolute gospel to spread. And I think there's a trickle scene from the fight that deserves partial credit for him. The movie is The Replacements. There's a group of replacement players that replace the Washington football team. They lose a football game. They are sad drinking in the bar. And in comes the old football team. Their quarterback, Martell, is talking shit. And then he starts trash talking the deaf tight end. Never cool. That's never cool. And the fight kicks off.
Thunderscar.
Falco gets rocked. And then he tells Danny, the crazy middle linebacker, what I told you about guys in the red shirt. He comes in full barrel, starts a great fight. Nigel Gruff with the, come here, stop! Kicks him in the dick. It's iconic. It's incredible. And I think it scoops up a piece of the jail scene after.
Nah, you don't get jail scene, but it's a fantastic
It just
pick.
gets an asterisk with it as one of my favorite movie scenes of all time that helps lead to that. It's incredible.
I say this, I think I say this once every 3 months about the movie The Replacements, because it's always on TV, and it almost became a meme, like, oh, TBS, what are they showing? The Replacements. But
Or Seinfeld.
I watched it again recently, and yesterday, or 2 days ago when I was flying on the plane, I airplane watched it. Guy ahead of me to the left was watching it. Needs to be a term when you airplane watch a movie. I watch a lot of movies that I've just read the subtitles on someone else's screen. And I ended up watching his screen more than my own, and he didn't have sound on because it's such a good movie. But you think of it as a corny sports movie tale, it's pound for pound an amazing comedy. And I say this once every 3 months. Like, if you haven't watched The Replacements,
It's on Netflix.
I get surprised every time. I'm like, wait, this is like, there's a great joke in every scene. And that bar scene is one of the best fight scenes in all movies because it's so funny.
It's a great pick.
Good pick, Jake.
Thank you.
Who's up?
I think it's you with the double.
Okay, I'm going to go viral because I really want to talk about this fight. And that's somewhat recent. I think we're coming up on a 1-year anniversary of it. It is Sons in 4 Guy. One of the most...
You did a great breakdown of Sons.
I did a breakdown on this fight. There was a lot going on in this fight. You know, we're seeing a lot more of these like stadium fights, and I have said that I don't think that's a good thing. I think like society is like slowly crumbling.
Yeah, we don't like him either. We
No,
had to
I hate
tell
them.
the social team like, hey, let's not like do
Right.
that anymore.
I don't like them, and like people ask me all the time, like when they see a fight like that, like, oh, do stats on it, do this, do that, and I'm just like, only if it's like a big one like this, because they're happening seemingly every day now, and some of them are nasty, but this one was more funny than anything because the 2 Denver Nugget bros were just like went for a sucker punch. But in the history of these fights, these arena fights with the stadium seating, if you have higher ground, you're going to win the fight.
Yeah.
You're punching down. Punching up is harder than punching down. So if these 2 Denver Nuggets, but not only that, it was 2-on-1. So they had every advantage in the world, and they still not just lost, got their asses handed to them. And this Sons in 4 guy was like mixing in body shots. He had his hand on one of them, said something to the other guy, and you thought he was going to punch the guy he was holding, punched the other guy. At that, he was feeling himself at that point. He was a man in full control. Then on top of it, has the wherewithal to say Sons in 4. And then it became a battle cry for the Suns. I mean the guy went on to you know, he had his 15 minutes of fame. He had, like, you know, toys made after him, and that was a moment. You know, odds against him, outnumbered, lower ground. Still got it done.
A lower ground win is.
I don't think it's ever happened.
Yeah.
I think that guy is like on Cameo still, and it's like really expensive. It's like, dude, why?
You probably doesn't want to do them.
Yeah,
He was doing appearances.
No, but it's like enough. It was like low enough that it's like he is doing them.
You have another one.
So I'll go with movie. And I am going to go my favorite boxing movie of all time, Creed.
Oh, really?
Creed.
Really?
Yes. It's the most realistic in terms of the fight scenes.
They did the one take.
Yes.
That is a really good shot.
It is the most realistic in terms of fighter development, how a fighter builds a career. Like I just had Devin Haney on our show, Inside Boxing Live, and he had a similar rise that Creed did. He wasn't the son of a famous boxer, but his first 5 fights, Devin Haney, were in Tijuana, Mexico on the weekends. Like you go out there, and smokers they call them. You fight in a bar. There's 200 people there. And that's what Creed did in this movie. He did it because he wanted to remain anonymous, and he just, you know, he wanted to see what he had in him. And from there, he built like a 10-0 record. He had a different name. I feel like that could happen in boxing. You could slip through the cracks with a different last name. And then someone finally, like, I'm giving away the whole movie, but they found out who he was. But I also like the fact that he didn't just jump from that being known as Creed to the main character, which was Andre Ward's character. He took that interim fight against that guy that was like 15-0, a rising prospect. Even that was real. The fight scenes, the storyline was great. The backdrop of Philly. I think Ryan Coogler, of course, he was involved in this, and he hasn't been involved in any of the other Creeds. And that's the reason why this is one of the.
Because he's not. I'm surprised he did Black Panther as well.
Yeah.
Because I was in film school around that time, and he was in the Bay Area, and he's from the Bay Area. Did Fruitvale Station, and so I was really excited for that because I was first like, well, it's like Rocky. Like they got pretty.
Right.
They went pretty away from. The first Rocky is an independent film. It's not a franchise. And then as the Rockies go on, they get.
It's not really much of a boxing movie for the first hour and a half of the original Rocky.
No, it's just a drama.
Yeah.
But then I remember being in film school and we found out like Coogler was doing it, and I was very excited. And then like they do the RVs down the street, and that's very Oakland. Like I was like,
it's also a very Philly thing.
Is
too.
it? Do they do that?
Yeah, it's
there
very
too?
Philly. It's just very authentic. The Creed movie, and I had the same reservations about it going in as you did. It's like, oh, is this gonna be like another Rocky? Like, is this gonna be corny? Like, what angle could they possibly take? And now we're on the third Creed. This coming out, I think in the fall. But the second one wasn't good because Ryan Coogler was no longer attached to it. He got too big and
Jake, you're up. You have Sports Brawl and Viral Fight.
I have Sports Ball. Am I competing in either? I'm still competing in Viral.
Yep.
Okay. I mean, I can pick an individual one. I'm taking the spirit of someone who was viral fighting, and spirit, unfortunately, is real. R.I.P. Kimbo Slice was viral fighting on the internet. The number one that pops up. He takes on Afro Puff and Big Mac, if we want to specify that. But again, viral internet fights is something I normally click away from, not kind of my niche. But I mean, what Kimbo embodied about viral street fighting, he kind of was viral fighting for a little bit. So I'll take the big fella.
Some of those fights in those backyards, he went straight up from like a backyard fighter to the pros.
Yeah.
Like that's the trajectory. Like guys think they can do that.
Yeah.
And he would just find the toughest guy in that neighborhood and just reduce him to nothing.
Literally the toughest. Find me the toughest guy so I can fight them.
Right, and he made it to like Bellator, which is like, a big promotion in MMA.
It's nuts.
Legend, Kimbo Slice.
Literally.
Oh, he is.
Literally a legendary guy.
Pretty sure his son is now fighting too. That's tough shoes to fill.
Yeah. It's probably not a good lane for me.
BBD, you have boxing match and movie left.
Yeah, the game theory of it all would dictate I should take my movie. You still have that left.
Maybe you'll make my decision. Is there?
I know, and I was thinking I'm in a similar spot too, where it's like I have 2 or 3 I could pick from, and I'd be interested in letting you go. But I'm gonna do it.
Do it.
I'm gonna pick my own play the right game here. That's not my ideal movie genre.
Oh,
there's one,
wait, really?
I haven't watched a lot of like the famous like fighting movies.
Boxing and golf are two movies where I don't really watch the sport always, but if there's and horse racing, those three I like gravitate towards those movies.
Yeah, but there is one that I like have seen multiple times, and I'm glad it's still here because like I actually do like the Karate Kid.
Oh,
Yeah.
Good one.
I have seen that one.
the original?
Yeah.
You watch Cobra Kai?
I watched
Me
the
either.
first season, second season, and then I had to. This is something that happens, and then I like binge watched it, and then I think it was during quarantine, and no, it was while I had COVID, and so I was just laying in bed and I watched like the whole thing, and then I got healthy and I was back to like doing things, and I was like, hey, now I only have an hour to watch a show. Do I like it that much? And I was like, absolutely not. So I stopped.
That's that.
Karate Kid. Okay. I got to round out my draft here. For viral fight,
Yes.
I will be taking, you're not my father. You're not my boss. Bagel Boss.
Yep.
Oh my God.
That's the other one.
Long
I was
Island
taking
legend.
If I didn't get the one I got.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
I would have taken it second overall if you.
Long Island legend.
And I mean, I obviously love it for that quote that I just said, but this guy is so small.
Yeah. He's talking. He tried to fight. He did a celebrity boxing event.
Yeah, he really tried to make money
Does
off
he
this.
Supposed to
swing in
fight.
this?
He was supposed to fight.
No,
Screech.
he doesn't. He doesn't.
So there's
swing.
no fighting?
Yes, there is. There is. You don't remember this?
I remember it. I thought it was just verbal.
No, he gets taken down like with ease.
He ends up on the ground.
So he goes up to the dude. The best part is when he chests up to the dude and his head is at his chest, right?
Oh.
Right. There.
Still, it's like a dolphin.
Yeah. And
Don't say
then the
dolphin.
guy
It's like a,
and then
what's going on with that word?
they
right?
laugh at him. I believe right there is when he gets laughed at.
Whole dolphin thing at this.
Outside? You want to step outside? Huh? I'm not scared of you, pal. I know. You shut up too. Just shut the fuck up. Go ahead and attack me, Jake.
Go ahead and attack me.
Pretty sure that was the Bayshore Bagel Boss on Long Island.
Oh man.
But he went on to. I think he was supposed to be in a celebrity fight. Maybe he didn't against
Yeah,
Screech.
he really
R.I.P.
tried to.
Yeah.
He really tried to
milk it.
make money off of it, but still.
He wanted to become actually famous from that.
Yeah.
But I heard he was like down and out. He might have been living in a van,
Maybe.
I remember
not down
that
by the
being
river,
a
but
story.
like it's a type of thing where you don't want to. They dig up who the person really is.
You're not my god.
You know,
You're not my dad.
They were trying to line up a Lenny Dykstra bag.
You're not my father.
yeah, I'm pretty sure it was like
I'm not scared of you, pal.
Yes.
And then
Almost
just
like a
gets-
Boston accent.
Yeah, I'm not scared of you, pal. Go ahead and down.
That,
Yeah,
he got taken down so emasculating too. Like the guy hit him and then like just sat on
Yeah,
him.
because that guy was not a fighter.
No,
Like that guy actually had
not
like
been in a fight.
any other. If Bagel Boss had 2 more inches, he could probably take the dude because that was the most uncoordinated. Like
he hit him and then like kind of
just fell on him.
sat on him.
Yeah.
And was like, "You're so tiny. I'm just gonna put
just
you in this
gonna-
cocoon."
If I just be on top of you, you won't be able to hit me.
Yeah.
So
Um,
I'm not sure any video gets like referenced more often around here between you guys and like me and Zach. Zach and I say women in general.
It's a
to
Jimmy
each other
all-time
a lot.
favorite.
yeah, I actually quote it wrong.
Jimmy all-time favorite.
Yeah, well,
because he says
quoted
you're
the
not.
funny order.
He says you're not God, and I think it's so much funnier. He says you're not my God. So I quote it wrong, but I won't change
Don't
because
need
it's
to.
so much funnier.
Oh my god!
You're not my dad. You're not my father. You're not my God. For the movie, and
Politically correct.
this one's a deep cut, but I'm gonna pick it. There's a boxing movie I could pick that I really, really like, and I'm really, really torn on the two of these. Fuck.
Okay.
No, I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna take Warrior. The Tom Hardy movie.
Yeah,
Where he fights his brother, the Australian actor Joel Edgerton.
MMA movie.
MMA movie.
Not many MMA movies.
It came out at the same time as another like fighting movie.
Might have been Southpaw.
Yes, I think it did. So it didn't get the like marketing pub. It's got the national ending. It's I like really like it as a movie, like a drama, and then the movie, and then the fighting is cool. Because like when Tom Hardy wins the round in like 2 punches and then doesn't do his post game interviews, it's middle of the movie. It's not a big spoiler. He just like decks a guy, and then they try to do this ringside interview, and he just like he doesn't even let the ref put his hand up. He just decks the dude and then walks out of the octagon, doesn't talk to anyone, and they don't see him again. And it's like the coolest thing. So I knew that was gonna be my last round pick because I didn't think it was gonna get taken. But that if you have not seen it, I do suggest watching it. And I think I put it on with my wife Kate at one point. She's like, I don't want to watch a fighting movie. And I was like, no, it's kind of more than that. Like it's a whole family drama. It's like a good. And then she very much got sucked in and loved it.
Yeah, Warrior's good. It's a good movie. Not many MMA movies, but I feel like there'll be a lot more. Relatively new sport.
Yeah.
MMA. It's only 25 years old. That's why they always say, is this guy the best ever? Is this the best fight of all time? Because it's that's one thing my biggest knock on UFC is like everything is the best ever. Because their best ever goes back to like 1990.
Right.
Where boxing or any other sport, baseball, over 100 years.
BBD, you're up. You have to round out your boxing match.
My real life.
I love this.
boxing
I'm so
match.
curious for
It's
this.
a big one for you.
Joe Frazier, Muhammad Ali.
Oh, yeah.
Solid. Strong. Important fight.
Why'd you like that fight again?
The first one?
It shows up really high on every
It's
list.
like big Google
Is it number
search.
the first fight?
Like I think on all 3 lists I looked at, they all called it number 1.
There you go.
And I've heard it referenced. I knew it existed already.
Mm-hmm.
Like okay, people
It's
do
huge.
agree that's the best one.
Yeah, one of them was right here at MSG.
Good pick, BBD. What's the moment from the fight that you're like?
The 15th round for me. Like just it's a long time.
They don't fight 15 rounds anymore.
Yeah, they don't do that anymore.
Can't. Yeah.
I mean, it was in the garden. That's
Frank Sinatra was there as a photographer for Time magazine. Doesn't get any more classic than that.
It's just iconic.
Jake, you have Sports Brawl.
Sports Brawl. There were 2 baseball ones that jumped out to me. I think there's one in more recent history that's pretty iconic in the sports world that I'm not going to take. It's the Joey Bats Rougned Odor one that has been opened up in recent eyes. One of the cleanest punches in any sports brawl there's ever been.
Yep.
Unfortunately, that doesn't tickle me as much as an old Nolan Ryan twirling the pill, and here comes Robin Ventura. Young, sexy, big prospect, big major league career. Robin Ventura says, you know what, old man? You're about to get the smoke. And my God, you've never... One of the bigger backfires in a fight there's ever been.
That's like the whole thing. Like you're probably wondering how I got here.
I don't understand
Moment.
the phrase when people say someone got dog walked, but I think Robin Ventura got dog walked.
Yeah, it's a boxing term.
Under the arm, boom.
Basically
boom,
a
boom,
noogie full of punches.
Like such an old man move.
Yeah.
Not what Robin Ventura
And those
pictured.
punches on the top of the head, those are illegal in boxing. Like those like hurt. And he was just how many I have to probably watch again to see how many
I
he
did
landed.
a breakdown on that the year I was doing like all old fight breakdowns.
10, 12 punches?
A lot. I don't remember.
Top of the head too, those hurt.
I mean, phew.
We have your boxing match to round out the draft.
Yes, saved the best for
Wow.
last.
Strategery.
Did one of your picks get taken?
No.
Okay.
There's so many to choose from. I'm going to go with a classic modern fight, one that I saw in my lifetime, and that is arguably one of the best fights in the history of the sport. Arturo Gatti versus Mickey Ward. 2003. One of the best fights ever.
Do you like the movie?
The Fighter? Yes.
Yeah.
That is my number 2 favorite boxing movie. I had that second. Raging Bull third, $1 Million Baby 4. For boxing fight, it was either Gotti Ward, which is a classic, round 9 is one of the best rounds in the history of the sport, or Marvin Hagler versus Tommy Hearns, which is considered the best 9 minutes in the history of boxing.
Gotta watch it. The line from the third Gotti, or maybe the second Gotti Ward fight, or maybe the first. I don't know which one. I always I find myself saying it when I record the voiceover for breakdowns, but I always stop myself because it's not my line. But when he says, "Just imagine if you brought a ticket," just imagine if you bought a ticket.
Yep,
it's like a really good line.
Jim Lampley.
When a good
She's a lamp.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Because sometimes in the breakdowns, I'll show like fans, like, just imagine you bought a ticket, and I show fans going wild, but I'm like, that's not my line.
I was supposed to go. I was supposed to go to that fight. My dad was there working for Box HBO, and I think it was like 15 or 16. I just wanted to stay home with the boys and just hang out because it was I'm pretty sure it was either Mohegan Sun or Foxwoods. I should probably know that, but it was a short drive. We used to take those drives all the time with my dad to fights, and I was like, no, I'm gonna stay back. I'm gonna hang out. High school, and I missed probably the best fight of all time, or top 3. Arturo Gatti, rest in peace, and Mickey Ward. If you haven't watched it, watch it because it's epic, especially that 9th round.